Hey, what's going on, everybody? You guys are checking out episode number 167 of the HoopDoctors.com podcast. And of course, I go by the name of Kevin Burke. Dwight Howard and James Harden, man, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on in Houston. Dwight is reportedly unhappy in Houston with his role, but he denies that report, of course. I mean, the whole season makes no sense. I mean, Kevin McHale having to be fired because the team can't get right. That's just, he has to be the scapegoat. You can't fire the players, so you got to fire the coach. And now this whole rift, or an alleged rift, I'll say, between Harden and Dwight Howard, I don't know. But all I know is this. Dwight Howard is averaging 12 points a game and averaging only 8 shots per game. Meanwhile, James Harden is averaging a career high in shots per game while still playing no defense, and the team is underachieving. That's all I know. Right? We can go based on facts. In terms of Harden and Howard, are they really beefing? Are they really unhappy with one another? Neither one of them, they're not going to admit that, of course. You can't admit that. But those numbers I just read to you, those are pretty telling. And there's also a report recently saying that Dwight Howard is going to test free agency this summer. He's going to opt out of his contract in Houston. Is he going to leave? I have no idea. I have no clue. I would not be surprised. I mean, listen, this is a guy who left L.A. and said, you know what, keep your $30 million. I want to get out of here so badly. So does that mean what's going on with him and Harden in Houston is enough for him to leave? Perhaps. I don't know. But you know what? He's on the wrong side of 30, and I don't know if he's going to get a max contract by any other team. But we've seen stranger things happen, so I wouldn't rule that out. So the Warriors are, I guess, like legitimately upset that the Bucks celebrated too much when they beat them and handed them the first defeat of the season. Like, they're really like upset. Like they're like they're like offended. And it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, Steph Curry is easily the cockiest player in the NBA. Easily. It's like seriously, he's like, it's not even a question. And that team celebrates more than any team I have ever seen recently. I mean, they're the champions, and they've won 1,000 games in a row. So, listen, they're well within their right to celebrate. I mean, when Steph hits a crazy, one of those unbelievable three-pointers, you see how the bench goes crazy? And then they go crazy on the court as well, too, if they call a timeout right after the play. So, don't be hypocritical here, Golden State. I mean, you're really upset. Listen, you got a 24-1 at the time of that loss. You shouldn't even be commenting about that. It just sounds like you guys are above that. You guys are the defending champions, and you guys are extremely hypocritical. It's not that serious. Just relax, man. You guys are going to win 70 games this year, I believe. To complain about the Bucks celebrating too much, you guys are above that, man. Get over it. And with this being Kobe's last season, he says it would be great if he were to be named an all-star, but he wouldn't lose any sleep over it if he was not named. He'd be completely cool with it. And I absolutely believe him. I do believe that he would be cool if he was not named an all-star. But if you think for 1 second Kobe Bryant is not going to be amongst the league leaders in NBA all-star votes, you're out of your mind. I mean, the guy barely played the last 3 seasons and was voted a starter each of those last 3 seasons. So I get it. I really do believe you, Kobe. You're not going to lose any sleep. But don't think for 1 second Kobe Bryant is not starting the All-Star game, averaging, 15, 16, whatever it is, points that he's been averaging this year. He's going to be there in Toronto this year. Trust me. Folks, that's all I got. Podcast number 167 in the books. I will check you guys out next week. Until then, be good.